the shadows beyond the rift. Nothing in the documents foretold what transpired. No rumors, no intercepted transmissions, no warnings. Only the coordinated quiet of 3 Batraxis Expanse surveillance outposts. Then, close to the edge of Kelmarian, a dark emptiness appeared. It produced forms that no one could identify, including competing ships, smugglers, or merchants. Ships composed of plasma scars and alloys of obsidian. Not reacting to hail, not trying to bargain. The first scouts from the Dominion arrived via the usual diplomatic procedures. They disappeared. Static and junk were what came back. Then the transmission appeaed. Short, chilly, in a language that has been banned for thousands of years. Asherin Talkara, Iskar Vel Tramin. The automated translators didn't work. Linguists searched through old records for hints. A terrifying approximation was provided by one preliminary interpretation. Children of the Dark Flame have arrived. Decide to remain silent or risk being undone. The words were not completely grasped by everyone. However, there was no need to translate the tone, which was calm, methodical, and distinctly menacing. At precisely that hour, Vrail Prime's High Council met. What began as a secret situation quickly descended into mayhem. In a matter of days, trade channels fell. One by one, civilian stations went out. Wreckage floating in solar winds was all that remained. Patrols were sent out. Then came reinforcements. Fleets burned whole. These invaders, whomever they were aware of the Dominion strategies, including its supply routes, blind spots, and naval doctrines. They hit the most painful spot and disappeared before a counterattack could be planned. The outer systems started to hear whispers. It's about something ancient, not about pirates or unidentified creatures. Ignored. Something that was not meant to be there. Please like and comment on what you believe is coming from the other side of the rift, if this initial message chilled you as much as it did the Alliance monitors. The cosmos simply become far more perilous. Please like and comment on what you believe is coming from the other side of the rift, if this initial message chilled you as much as it did the Alliance monitors. The cosmos simply become far more perilous. Part 2. Rise of the Forgotten. There was no military installation targeted in the initial strike. Neither a planetary siege nor a fleet engagement occurred. It was a message, etched in what seemed like orbital bombardment patterns over the moons of Nereth Prime. A sign that no one understood, but everyone dreaded. The Kalian was quick to react. The Dominion sprang into action. Within days, worlds were on war footing. Nevertheless, the Icarus, as they would be called, hit with such accuracy that no defense could stop them. Whole convoys disappeared. The outposts fell quiet. Once thought to be only fables, vestiges of a vanished civilization. These things now traveled through the Kalian systems with an incredible speed and ruthless aim. However, they were unprepared for Zerathal. In more than 100 battle cycles, Zerathal has remained unbeaten. A legend among the ranks of Kalian command, a living weapon. To intercept the unidentified menace close to the boundaries of Dominion space, they dispatched him along with a fleet. Silence was what came back. Not a distress call, not a wreck, just a single piece of distorted transmission, an empty channel, and a single statement in the same lifeless language, followed by a human face that was expressionless and backlit by fire. The Kalian became nervous. Stories of insurrectionist factions were propagandized. The public was reassured by military representatives. Fear, however, took hold among the top levels. They weren't pirates. They weren't rebels. Something ancient and forgotten confronted the Kalian. Alto Commandante Zerath called an emergency meeting of the High Circle. He had destroyed the Crithan uprisings and fought in the revolt of Scytherin. He had never flinched, but he just said, "Return," as he went over intercepted Ekarus fleet signatures. Few people in the Dominion understood the meaning of the term. However, it meant facing up to the old war builders, who had buried the past behind layers of accepted history. It indicated that the humans were still there. They had persevered. They were now returning home. They were the echo of something far older than mere surviving. If this discovery made you feel heavy, please subscribe to the channel and tell others who enjoy interplanetary twists about it.